Have you ever really wondered what a day on an SAP project actually looks like? Beyond all the buzzwords and the formal job descriptions? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and break down the real routine of an SAP architect. Let's dive right in. So this is the big question, right? Whether you're thinking about jumping into an SAP career or you're already in the trenches, it all comes down to this. What do you really do all day? And let me tell you, the answer is a whole lot more dynamic and frankly, more interesting than you might think.
Okay, first things first. Before we even get into the daily checklist, we have to talk about the mission. Because this role, it isn't just about tapping away at a keyboard. It's about being an architect. You're literally designing and building the digital framework that a whole business runs on.
At its heart, your main job is to be a translator. That's really the best way to think about it. You take a company's needs, their goals, their frustrations, their big ideas, and you translate them into real working solutions inside the SAP system. You're that essential bridge between the business dream and the technical reality.
So, how does a big picture mission like that actually break down into a daily to-do list? Let's get into the mix of tasks you'll be juggling, because it's this really cool balance of deep technical work and high-level strategy. On any given day, your technical plate is going to be full. And it's going to be varied, seriously. You might start your morning writing or tweaking some ABAP code. That's the classic programming language for SAP. Then you could pivot to creating some really slick CDS views to help model and pull data. After that, maybe you're enhancing a report, squashing a tricky bug, figuring out how to optimize performance, or even jumping on a call to directly help a user who's having an issue in the live system. It's never boring, that's for sure.
But, and this is super important, so I really want to make this clear, it is not nonstop coding. That's probably the biggest myth out there. The idea of the lone coder locked away in a dark room, that's just not the reality. It's way more collaborative than that. Which brings us to how things actually get built. It's not some rigid assembly line. A much better way to think about it is like you're solving a huge, complex puzzle, where every single piece has to fit together just right. The journey from a simple request to a finished solution has a pretty clear path. It all starts with you analyzing the functional specs to really truly understand what's needed. Then comes the testing. You're rigorously testing your changes in the development and quality systems. Of course, you're documenting everything as you go. And all along the way, you are constantly coordinating with your team. It's a very methodical, team-based effort. And all that coordination points to a huge part of the job that often gets overlooked. You are so much more than a coder. The people part of the project, it's every bit as important as your technical skills, maybe even more so.
You're constantly switching between two main communication channels. On one side, you're client-facing. That could mean attending meetings to clarify what they need or helping users directly with their issues. Then, on the other side, you have your internal team. You're working hand in hand with functional consultants and testers to make sure your solution is spot on. Being a master communicator in both of these worlds is absolutely key to success. So, what happens when you put it all together? You've got the technical chops, the methodical process, and the people skills. Well, it all leads to something incredibly satisfying. Real, true ownership over your work. One of the best ways to sum it all up comes from our source material. It's this idea of a balanced routine of problem solving, learning new SAP concepts, handling real business scenarios, and gradually taking more ownership. That's the whole game right there. Your day isn't just about getting tasks done. It's about getting better, learning more, and earning the trust to tackle bigger and more important challenges for the business. So we've seen all the pieces of the puzzle, right? The technical skills, the problem-solving process, and that collaborative spirit. It all comes together in this role of the architect. Every great business solution out there started with one person, one team, tackling a single problem. So the only real question left is, are you ready to build it?